I would probably push Jordan Love out of the top 10. I think you have a guy, Dak Prescott, who has played at a high level since he's been a rookie. And you have Jordan Love, who has played at a high level for like half a season. And to me, I guess because I don't feel like Cody's again, it depends on the criteria and how you want to do it. I don't feel like Cody is attempting to project the season forward, right? He's saying this is a snapshot of where these guys are right now. And while you would probably rather have, like, you would take Jordan Love over Dak Prescott moving forward, I think if you needed to win one game or needed to win in 2024, I think you'd probably prefer Dak to Jordan Love if all of the things were created equal, just because of the floor. Love has a higher ceiling. He has a lot unknown. We don't know what he could be. But, dude, halfway through last year, Brian Gutekunst, the Packers GM, who traded up and drafted Jordan Love while Aaron Rodgers was still on the roster, was asked, is Jordan Love your guy? And he's like, I don't know. We're going to have to figure it out this year. He's like, they didn't know. Packers fans didn't know, like, until that great stretch to finish the season, make the playoffs, and then beat the Cowboys and Dak, fair enough, in the playoffs head to head. Like, he was not the guy a quarter of the way through the season or even halfway through the season. So I think for me, you need to see a little bit. I think Jordan Love's going to be great. But the fact that he is 12-1 to win MVP is pretty freaking wild. It would be the wildest thing on the board if CJ Stroud wasn't 9-1 to win MVP.
Yeah, I see. I like Jordan Love. Like, I think I think what we saw towards the tail end of last season, which, he was completing like 70% of his passes. I think it was like 18 touchdowns, 1 interception. He was playing at an MVP level. But if you're talking like, 12-1, no. If he's like 25-1, I actually absolutely smash that. I'm at least checking that out. But I still think I would take him, and I'm not just talking about going forward, because that's a given the age and the relative ceiling. But I still think I would take him to win me a game, and like, just give me the win me week one. For 2024. I think I'm taking Jordan Love over Dak. I really am. I love the way he played down the stretch last season. I mean, he almost beat the San Francisco 49ers.
Yep. Except he threw a ugly interception.
I didn't want to mention that, Breach.
Sorry.
I didn't want to mention that.
Yeah. You know what's crazy though, and if Brock Purdy wasn't number 2, I think more people might be talking about the fact that not only is Jordan Love in the top 10, but guess who he's ahead of? One spot,
Aaron Rodgers.
And so I could see some Jets fans where, I mean, that's just, I love that ranking because that's juicy, saying, hey, look, the Packers said, we're done with you, Aaron. I'm going to keep Jordan Love. And now you could argue that Jordan Love going into 2024, that maybe you'd rather have him than Aaron Rodgers, because, and this kind of alludes to Joe Burrow too, where if somebody has Joe Burrow down their rankings, he's 4 here. I don't think you can argue that if he's down to 5 or 6, just because if you are picking a quarterback for 2024, you want a guy that has a history of staying healthy. And obviously Aaron Rodgers coming off Achilles, not great. And Joe Burrow has had 2 seasons where he's missed at least 6 games. And that's a little worrisome. So you do have to worry about that wrist injury. So I think that, from a talent standpoint, if this was just pure talent, I would rank Burrow 2nd overall, but this is he going to be available? Is he going to look like he did? Because he's coming off a wrist or an injury to his throwing wrist. And that's, no quarterback has ever had to come back from that. So we don't know what he's going to look like. So I'm fine with Burrow being given a spot in the top 5. Cody has him at 4, and I'm fine with Jordan Love being ahead of Aaron Rodgers, which I'm sure Ryan Wilson loves, because wasn't that his bold prediction for the entire 2023 season?
Yeah, he said Love would have a better season than Rodgers. I think this is. I think you'd also say that this is. It was true. Yeah. What's that? Sorry.
I said it was true by default, but
it was true 5 minutes into the season.
Right. But it ended up being actually accurate.